All right, Black Goose family. So just like Earl Spence and Ugas, being in the boxing media pretty heavy because we got a fight coming up between the two. Ryan Garcia has been in the boxing media heavy as well because he has a fight coming up very soon also. So, with that being said, it makes sense, at least to me. It may not make sense to y'all, but hopefully it does. And y'all go ahead and tune in on this particular reaction for me to go ahead and hear some of the opinions coming from Ryan Garcia. Now, I know Ryan Garcia isn't the most liked when it comes to boxing community. Actually, if I were to actually be 100 with y'all, it seems like he's probably one of the most hated. He has his cliche fan base, that ride hard for him and love him. You know what I'm saying? I may be part of it. Who knows? I've been told you he's from where I'm from, so I can't go against him. But majority of boxing fans feel like he's wasted talent to an extent. He's a YouTube, Instagram star, but he's definitely not focused on boxing. He just wants to make clips. He's always hitting the mitts, but he's never actually hitting an opponent. He stays out of the gym, right? All this negativity geared toward Ryan Garcia. Regardless, he has a fight coming up, and hopefully he can silence some of these haters, or silence some of silence some of these naysayers, or silence some of these doubters in the ring. Because at the end of the day, you can say all you want, you can do all you want outside of it, but if you end up being in the ring, getting the fights in, getting the W's, at some point the boxing fans will sway and start acknowledging how talented and gifted you are. And Ryan Garcia is a gifted fighter, regardless of what you guys have to say. You may not like how he goes about it, you may not like what he does to support himself, but at the end of the day, he's gifted and he's where he is for a reason. You guys can't deny him from that. And also, you Canelo fanboys, he left the goddamn camp. So what? Big deal. It happens all the time. Stop making it seem like he can't get any better without being a part of Canelo's camp. That's not true. How many people out of Canelo's camp do we know about other than Canelo? Okay, shut up. Y'all want to say Frank Sanchez. He was already a motherfucking beast before he went to that camp. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into that because I'm gonna have a lot of y'all coming at me. I'm just like, I stop acting like Ryan Garcia's end all be all was Eddie Reynoso. Like, dude was talented and a beast before that. We went there, got some tips, pointers, and now he's with Joe Goosen, who's also a legendary trainer. So for y'all to even think anything differently than that tells me y'all don't know anything about boxing, but you know everything about your favorite fighter, and that's the motherfucking age we in. People want to tell you, I know about boxing because they know about their favorite fighter, but they don't know nothing about any other fighters. They don't know nothing about the history. I'm not going to get into it. You see me? But let's listen to what Ryan Garcia has to say. He had a particular take on the Rolly Romero Gervonta Davis fight. I want to hear it. I want to react to it in real time. Let y'all see it. Y'all know a lot of these titles are clickbait when it comes to these videos. Not mine, but some of them that I'm watching. So he may not even say anything about it, or it may be really short and be blown out of proportion. But I want to hear what he has to say. So let's get into it.
What's up, FightHype.com, here with the sensation himself, Ryan Garcia. Ryan, man, do you think this fight could kind of go like the Romero Duna and Francisco Fonseca fight, end early?
I mean, it has that feel to it, right? I'm pretty good at fighting shorter guys. That's kind of my expertise. I'm used to it. So he's a little shorter, and he likes to box. I mean, a lot of people, they always try to pressure me. So we'll see. Maybe it does end up like that. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really know too much of this guy. He's kind of a funky fighter. If you watch him, he kind of does a lot of funny stuff. But, I'll stay calm and then just surgically break him down or knock him out. You never know.
Do you think those quick knockouts come against guys like that? Because they're short, trying to get in close, and that's the range for that left hook we know you for.
Yeah, I mean, I have pretty good timing. And I think that's always separated myself from a lot of fighters. It's just my timing and my accuracy. So you probably could see that in this fight. But if you bring something out of me, then you'll see it. You see my eyes light up. Just like Luke Campbell, he brought something out of me, and I had to dig deep and get to him, take it to him. Usually I like boxing on the outside. Obviously, I'm taller and counter you. But, Luke Campbell made me take it to him, and I did it. So you never know.
And speaking of timing and your power, Rolly Romero, he said he actually feels you're the hardest puncher in the division, besides him.
By the way, guys, if you don't know the history between Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia, they have a lot of gym wars. You guys can check that out on YouTube. Just type it in. For Rolly Romero to be complimenting Ryan Garcia and possibly a potential compliment back from Ryan Garcia is actually surprising to me, because it seems like they have a lot of bad blood just if you watch the sparring videos. Obviously, you don't want to take everything. You don't want to try and create a scenario just based off a couple of clips. Even though I'm doing reaction, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's funny. That's the irony of the shit, or the hypocrisy, whatever you want to call it. But it did seem like they had a lot of sparring wars since they were younger, amateur days, all the way up to pro days, before they went pro, while they were pro. It seemed like there was bad blood there, but you can see, obviously, when you in there and you in war with somebody, it may look like war at the time, but you ain't got no respect if you know what they really brought, understand their skill.
So how good is his power, and what chances do you give him of beating Tank?
I think that he's severely underestimated because the thing with Rolly's, he may look funky, but he knows his funky moves really good and his range, and he doesn't really like to put himself in danger. Like, it's just a weird way of doing it, but he does it the way he's supposed to do it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but just know that he does have some good pop in his.
So I understand what he's saying. He's basically saying, like, if you watch him, a lot of the things he does is very unorthodox. But what's dangerous about him is he's perfected what he does, and those moves being unorthodox. So basically, to you, he's doing everything wrong, but to him, he's doing to Rolly himself, he's doing everything right. Why? Because repetition. He understands the unorthodox way of his boxing style. He understands how to put himself in positions to utilize that. So his unorthodox way of boxing is his orthodox way of boxing in his mind. So which makes it very hard for his opponents to figure out exactly what he's trying to do.
Shots, and he could knock out Tank if Tank's not careful. But then again, Tank is small. There's just a lot of attributes that might be against Tank this fight, to be honest. But Tank is a special fighter, and maybe he could find something special to do, and he could pull greatness out of him. We'll see. But it doesn't seem like he wanted to fight him too much. That's the strange thing about it. He's like, oh man, but he should just buckle down and say, fuck it, I'm fighting, let's go.
I like that from Ryan. Now, a lot of people, that's why I say I don't understand the criticism against Garcia. He seems like a very down-to-earth guy. He doesn't cross me as arrogant or anything like that. It just seems like, maybe he says certain things people don't like, or maybe, they feel like, he doesn't have a traditional personality when it comes to boxers. I don't know what it is, but to be honest with you, I thought that was a very good take. You can see he has respect from Rolly because of obviously their past experience in sparring and etc. He has respect for Gervonta. It's very interesting, though, that take. That was very different. He said it just made it seem like Gervonta has to bring something special out of himself to beat Rolly. And he's trying to figure out. It seemed like Gervonta didn't really want to fight Rolly, which Gervonta said himself he didn't want that fight. He said TMT gave him that fight because his last fight in the contract. So, what do you guys think about this? Do you think there's any substance behind what Ryan Garcia is saying? Do you guys agree with him at all? Do you think maybe he's just a hater? Do you think he hopes Gervonta loses? What do you guys personally think? Hit the comment section below. As always, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. And I'm out. Let me know what y'all think. Reaction.